I have some fireworks. I have some fireworks in my toilet, but it's great afterward.
Okay, if you will, before I forget, how do I pronounce your name?
My name is Thi.
IT.
You can call like T, yeah.
All right. If you will send me your email address, either on this chat line or through Facebook, I will send you the chart of the Shivambu wisdoms, which is the highlight of all the PowerPoints of why Shivambu is what it is.
Yes.
Do you know how to use this chat line?
Yeah, I'm on the chat line now.
And write in there wisdoms, plural, and I'll remember to send that to you.
I will send my email over here.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And write down the word Shivambu wisdom. You know how to spell Shivambu the old Hindu way?
Shivambu.
Hi, Uma. Shivambu, Shivambu.
Yes, I know that's what, but the second word I done.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
DOM. Wisdom.
Yes.
Hi, Uma. So one of the Shivambu wisdoms is that it alchemizes everything it touches. And what that means is any germ, any virus, any pathogen, any fungus, any candida, it will neutralize it and raise its vibration to match that of Shivambu. So, for example, people ask the question, well, if I'm gargling it because I have bacteria in my gums and my tongue and my lip, hi VJ, shouldn't I spit it out after I gargle with it? Did that ever come into your mind, what to do with the urine after you've gargled in your mouth? Well, you want to swallow it because it's neutralized and it's alchemized all the bacteria in your mouth and raised its vibration. It is now Shivambu in essence.
I also have one friend, and she had the tumor on her chest. Mm-hmm. She haven't tried urine before, but she also asked me if she can. That's just a benign tumor, and she asked me if she can drink the urine and massage her chest every day to heal that.
Absolutely. Has she started yet?
No, I share my experience about my urine therapy for a couple months already, and she said, "Wow, it's gonna kill the cancer." But of course, I haven't any experiences about cancer healing, so I need to ask professional first.
Right. So you're talking to one of the master teachers on this planet, and the people below you, Dr. Vijay Gupta and Indira Gupta, who have just joined us, they're some of my urine therapy advisors. They've been doing this since 1983. So, Dave Phillips is in the house. Hello, Dave. Hi, Dominique. Welcome to the call this morning.
Morning.
We're taking we're right off the heels of the Urine Therapy Beginners Class 101, which we held yesterday. Dominique was one of the students, and we had students from UK, India. I don't think that guy made it. Texas and California. Yeah. It was lovely to have everybody there. Hi, Dave. Welcome back to the call.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Christopher has joined the call. If we're going to get started here in a minute, I'm going to do a little bit of. Let me turn off the background music. A little bit of our disclaimer before we get started here. You guys probably already know this stuff. Hi, Christopher. Welcome back to the call.
Hey, Sage. And hi, everybody else. Looks like there's a fair amount of new people.
Hi, Christopher. Good to see you again.
Hey, Dave.
Okay,
your name is Sarah, right?
Yeah, I just.
Oh, you changed it. Good.
That's my wife, and.
Of course, but they get along.
All right. If you're not talking, please mute your line. We're getting feedback from Indira over there.
Hey, Guptas. Nice to see you. VJ.
VJ, open the line. See, we get to practice what we're talking about immediately.
And we have Thi. Is that how you say your name?
Yeah, T. You can call me T, like T in
T.
English.
T.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Hi.
tea. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Stephanie, welcome,
Hi.
and Dominique. Yeah, welcome everybody.
Guys, let's go over the disclaimer really quickly. Hi, Matt has made it to the call. By the way, we have hiding in the background. We have hiding. Hi, Matt.
Hey.
We have hiding somewhere in the background of the water world is Harry Matadine, who said he's going to try to make the call. So let's hold space like one of these squares here on our game board that Harry can join us. That would be wonderful. Did anybody bring refreshments?
Yes. Oh, and
Okay.
McLean is here. Hey,
McLean's
McLean.
in the house. I love her background, the way she designs her house. It's lovely. We're going to do the communion, but first we'll do a quick disclaimer, guys. You can sip loop while we're talking. That's totally okay. By the way, I don't know, is this backwards?
No, it's good.
Okay, imagine this 3 feet by 2 feet hanging off of a table on a popular plaza in Boulder, Colorado, with an umbrella overhead with two guys talking about urine therapy in front of a camera. That's going to happen on the 29th of September and October the 2nd here in Boulder, Colorado. I don't know if anybody else is doing this. We might be pioneering this for the planet, but we're starting here in America, showing people you can teach this in the public. And
Matt's going to be out on the streets of New York doing it soon.
He is. Did you get you?
I have my T-shirt, but yes, I want to follow your example. I'm excited to see the setup.
I'm very excited. It's taken 3 years in the works to finally pull this off. I was waiting for the right message and the right sign and the right crew and the right team. I ended up going to the city the other day. They gave me an official permit.
Hey.
That means nobody can tell me nothing about what I'm talking about on the street. So we're hoping that some of my students in Boulder will show up and hide in the crowd and just come up to the table and go, I got a testimonial. I drink my pee. You guys got to hear this. So it's going to be however it's going to be. Maybe the Guptas and Christopher will come out. We'll see. So here's the disclaimer really quick. If you got something to say, raise your hand. And when someone's finished talking, we'll acknowledge the next person talking. Number 2, sit still. Are you, well, yeah, you got it. Do you want to talk, VJ? Unmute yourself. Oh, he's waving. Oh, he's muted. Okay, number 2, try to sit still. It's really difficult for us watching you guys if you pull a Rico Mesa, our buddy out in Netherlands. He was doing yoga on camera. And we're trying to like focus on what everybody has to say. So if you can keep relatively still, if you got to go to the other room to fill up on your Shivambu, or Matt's got to get a nebulizer, whatever you need, try to come back to the screen. Avoid eating on camera if you can. This is a different form. This is liquid nourishment, so you can eat your water. Try to avoid eating on camera. The call is being recorded. So the other disclaimer is this is a call discussing urine therapy. If you came to this call accidentally, you're either going to learn about the gift known as Water of Life urine therapy, or you're going to leave the call. But we're trying to avoid getting trolls and, folks who have no clue what we're talking about off this call. So you guys are all drinking your pee? Yes. All right, I feel right at home. Let's pull out the prayer and get started. All right, grab your bottle, grab your jar. Oh, that's some serious water there, Matt.
I actually don't have any I feel comfortable drinking at the moment. This is just my tub, which I only feel comfortable soaking in.
Well, you got Dominique so fired up, I think she peed on herself. It was way exciting. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a call or response. Uma knows what that is. Here we go. I'll say it. You guys repeat it, and at the end, we'll drink. I take this water of life.
I take this water of life.
I wish we could hear VJ. Can you, Christopher? Can you do a chat to VJ? Maybe we can wake him up or get him a text.
Hey VJ, unmute yourself so we can hear your voice during the prayer. Unmute yourself, VJ.
VJ.
Unmute yourself.
You, VJ.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
VJ.
want to. So repeat back.
All right, VJ, get your water or your symbolic glass, like your flask. Indira.
Indira's on another.
Here.
All right, Indira. Indira, we're about to do the communion. So grab some water or
I'm coming.
your
I'm coming.
Is she holding a cup under the table? What is she doing?
I think she's getting it.
She's gonna run into the bathroom and get it right now.
All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go. I take this water of life.
I take
this water of life.
I declare it the water of light.
I
declare it the water of light.
As I bring this water within this body,
As I bring this water within this body,
it allows me to glow.
it allows me to glow.
I take this water of light.
I take this water of light.
I declare it the water of God.
I declare it the water of God.
I am the master of all I do and all that I am.
I am the master of all that I do and all that I am.
So be it.
So be it.
And Matt is drinking osmotically through the plastic. So let's start off. This is the part where everybody gets to check in. Tell us where you're living, what's been your experience with Shivambu, and anything you'd like to share with the group. You got about 3 minutes. T, will you go first?
Yes, hi everyone. I live in Vietnam and I'm 28 years old. I tried to use urine therapy for a couple months already. And of course, I'm just new and I'm healing my body a lot. And the thing is really amazing is I have my upper back pain is really worse for many years ago. I went to the hospital, but no one can tell what happened to me. And it happened, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sleep on my back. Sometimes I have to sleep on my chest. And then I start to use urine therapy for a couple months. And of course, just 1 week later, I can sleep very, very good. And now I just want to learn more. So I somehow I found a video clip about, so I saw Matt and I asked, how can I join with you guys? And luckily now I join here. Nice to meet you. I just want to know more information to improve my knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. Uma, can we hear from you?
Sure. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm in Vienna.
Oh, Stephanie.
And yeah, what can I say? So I've been on a juice feast for several months now and have been using Shivambu with it, and it's giving me so much energy. Like, I don't do it every day, but on the days I drink my pee, it's completely different. Yeah. I live in Vienna also.
Are there any other people in Vienna that you know that practice urine therapy?
Oh, you're muted, Stephanie. Somehow you muted yourself.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how that happened.
Go ahead.
No, I don't know anyone in Vienna or Austria, to be honest, who's doing Shivambu. But yeah, let's see. I'll probably or hopefully inspire some.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to Indira and VJ. Tell us about your journey and anything you'd like to share with our community.
Well,
hey, Indira, mute yourself while VJ is talking.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, VJ.
okay. I want to share my most profound experience to help me quit smoking in '93. I struggled for decades and finally I used AUT. In 3 days, I quit. I have not smoked. I have not smoked at all. So that's my journey.
Thank you, VJ. You sounded like the voice of God was coming through you from another
Yeah.
dimension. It was great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to be free of addictions. We've had people come on our calls that have broken addiction, and urine therapy was their cure. So, am I getting feedback too? No. Dominique, tell us your name and where you're from and a little bit about your journey.
Hi, I'm Dominic. I'm from Ontario, California. I am 3 months in an AET journey, and I am here just to become more knowledgeable in all of this so I can help other people, find urine therapy as well, and just to find my own tribe. And that's really I'm just open. I'm here for it all. I'm excited to be here. So that's it.
Hey, Dominique, I have a question. How did you hear about this call?
I joined a couple of the Facebook groups, and I seen Brother Sage posting different posts, and I clicked on his page and I started going down, and I followed his YouTube channel, and I started watching some of you guys' old videos almost like a year back, and now I'm here.
I see. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Dave, tell us about your journey, where you're living, and anything you'd like to share with our community.
So I'm in London, North London, and I wrote the first book on OMAD, orin lupin. And I think the two therapies work so well together. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for the sage. And why it's so incredible, a lot of people on OMAD, intermittent fasting, they always ask, what drink can I have? And the truth is really, it's only water. You can only drink water. Anything else that's got things in it will bring you out of a fasted state. If you drink fruit and vegetable juices, that will end your fast. So orin is so incredible because it's got all the goodness in it, 3,000 known nutrients that we know about, and I think thousands more that we haven't yet identified, and it will not end your fast. This is what's so incredible about orin, your own orin. It's got all the goodness, but it won't bring you out of a fasted state. And that's why it's so incredible. And all my family love it, don't we, Maria?
Maria, what's Maria's experiences been like? Is she doing oral or topical?
She's gone a bit shy.
Dave, is she using oral or topical protocols?
Both. All of us do. All my kids, both. Oral and topical. And one of my daughters, we got 3 kids. One of them had a problem with eczema to start with, and orin completely cleared it up. It was quite bad before she started, and topical and internal, and it's completely good. She's got clear skin. There's no remnants whatsoever, no scars, or no evidence that she ever had eczema.
Wow. And would you say the kids are pretty well balanced and socially well off?
Very much, but they are still concerned about their friends in school making fun of them. So they haven't come out and told everyone like I have, which I understand at the moment.
Okay.
But I hope the world will change.
Yeah. So you're not going to send them to school with a shirt that has this statement on it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Time will come. Thank you. Let's move over to Christopher. Introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and anything about your journey up till now.
Yeah. I just wanted to say to Dave that you said, I hope the world changes. We are the ones who are changing the world. I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to just kind of tag on the way I got into urine therapy 30 years ago was I had eczema myself. So bad on my hands, I had to wear gloves. And after soaking my hands in urine for a week, it was completely gone. And then I just continued. Then I started doing it eternally, and it's continued. I'm in Boulder. And for the last year and a half, I have been looping. Before that, I was only drinking internally, like in the morning, and I would still get like colds and flus, occasionally. But since looping, which is basically drinking at least a sip from every urination, I haven't been sick for the last year and a half. And so for me, that's a that's a testament to the serious practice of urine therapy, you know, like the dedicated practice of urine therapy, that when you really delve into it, it's it'll go to into new levels of health, you know. And so I'm working on McLean and I are putting together a newsletter, and we're in the editing stage. So there'll be I think in the next week we'll probably release the debut. It's called You're in the Spotlight newsletter. And part of that is going to be a manifesto. And what I, you know, my hope really in my life and in this movement is that Shivambu become a common word in the English language, you know, so that people know about it. They know what it is. They, you know, they don't have to do it but they at least know that it's an option, and it's, you know, it's an option that's not being pushed off the table by science, you know, that it's actually got a place. And the way, I feel like the way to do that is by collecting testimonies and having we're planning to have a page on the shivambu.org website that's just chock full of testimonies, so that whenever, you know, it's introduced to people and they go, well, how do I know this works? Well, you just go to the page and you just read, you know, accounts, and it'll be categorized. One of the categorizations will be by illness cured. So in other words, there'll be like an eczema, you know, category, and you can go in there and read, you know, my testimony and maybe your daughter's testimony, Dave, and, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, would you tell them how we're spelling the name of the newsletter so they'll get the play on words?
So it's Urine, the Spotlight. Yeah, so it's, yeah, I think you all get it. Yeah, you're in the spotlight.
Wonderful. We're going to shoot over to Matt, but before we get to Matt, at the same time that Christopher McLean, where she's still here, they're putting together the debut newsletter. I've been working on putting together the Water Family Directory, and it's starting to come together where anybody can locate a urine therapy teacher or therapist anywhere in the world that they can communicate with. And I got the idea from the original book. This was my Bible, Fountain of Life. You guys might have heard of this, Cohen Vanderkroon. Well, he's got some of the resources in the back. He mentioned a healing center in New Mexico, one in India, and several practitioners. Well, we're going to bring it up to date as soon as we can. So if you guys want to be listed as either a beginner, intermediate, or master teacher, reach out to me and I'll get you listed. Let's go over to Matt. Tell us where you're from, what your journey's up to, and anything you want to share with our community.
Hey guys, so I'm from LA. I'm living in New York, and it's really good to be here in the advocacy group, even while I still feel like I'm very much in my healing process. If I mentioned, I've been drinking for my urine for 1.5 years. And yeah, like Christopher said, you know, consistency has been huge for me with it. And it's so cool to see how it keeps unfolding. It takes away layers of toxicity as the body wants to get rid of them. And all of a sudden it'll shoot over to a different organ system when another, or like, you know, different part of my skin when one part is cleared. Just wanted to share that. Also, I've been posting updates to my YouTube channel. It's just Matt Sena, Sena. For more info on my Orin bath and how I'm managing that in my little New York City apartment. I'm really trying to do it cost conscious too, even though it looks like quite the setup. I got into urine therapy because of toxemia, which I feel like is the cause of most disease, if not all, which probably precipitated the addictions I was dealing with, mostly a significant marijuana addiction. And, you know, like T mentioned, my neck. I've always had breathing issues, and that also seems tied in with the neck. But breathing issues in my neck, the toxemia, it comes out here, something about the lymph system here, but yeah, so much neck relief. All right, well, that's enough. Thank you.
Can you describe a little more about your sauna and bath for the people who have no idea what you're talking about?
So definitely take a look at the YouTube channel. But over here, we have a sauna that contains a bath. So this tent here is reflective on the inside from a company called Creatrix Solutions in the USA. I combined that Creatrix Solutions double wide yoga sauna tent with the Sauna Space, separate brand, sauna light bulbs, near infrared. And I believe that's most cost effective and efficient because near infrared sauna really gets the sweat moving and has been shown to remove the toxicity quite well. Far infrared is far more expensive and far less effective in every way, shape, or form. Near infrared halogen lamps are like full spectrum sunlight too. It's also phototherapy. Dr. Tom Cowan approved, who's definitely emerging in the space. But to get to the most important point, Sage, the double wide allowed me to have both that setup and the tub. Now and why I wanted to explain the sauna, I really love to do the sauna and then get in the tub. I dehydrate my body, I open up my skin, I clear out the lymph, and then I soak in the tub. And then what happens is the negative charge of the tub, I'm really sure of this, but I'd love thoughts on this. The negative charge of the tub is pulling out the positive charge toxicity from my lymph system through my skin. And it's just this negative, with all the nutritional and structured water potentiating this.
Here's a question for you, Matt.
Yes.
Matt recently had a visit by David Tamshin.
Yes.
And he came to us from Ecuador or somewhere, and he's living in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, Philadelphia. And he made a trip down to South America for a while.
Okay. How did it feel to have someone else in your holy water?
It was a big experience for both of us. But it was rather simple and no big deal at the same time.
You never thought you'd have someone else in your tub, did you?
Well, yeah, the whole experience from beginning to end has been beyond my mind, brother. So actually, really, the best answer is quite seamless, actually.
I'd like to hear David's experience of it. Thank you. Let's shoot over to McLean.
Thanks for letting me talk so much.
Tell us about yourself, where you're from, and that's okay, Matt. And what's your journey been like? Anything you want to share with the community?
Hi, everyone. I'm in Berkeley, California. Hi, Dominique. We're both not too far away. And I have been doing this for over 40 years. And someone just mentioned it, and I was like, I just took to it and started drinking right away and went on a fast pretty soon after that and harangued my best friend into doing it, and have been practicing ever since. And I've had some health things that I dealt with a long time ago, that I had a combination of Western medicine. I had no idea that there was any community. I was out there sort of alone. And so being in contact with everyone and finding this large, on Facebook community, it just was shocking to me. And shocking and exciting, and remains that way. I appreciate everyone's support and hearing stories and all that. And I wanted to talk about, I don't know if now's the time, but I do want to talk about my experience with a nebulizer. And
let's keep it short. That's totally fine.
Well,
go ahead.
I can talk about it later.
No, now's good.
Okay, well, so I have a cough, and it's my understanding I have this cough from cannabis, and that I went to a acupuncturist a while ago, and that it's from, she said, you're allergic to it. And I smoke on and off and have not for a while, but I have a cough, and I thought, well, let me get a nebulizer and see how that affects my cough. And when I drink aged urine, it's sort of like my cough is much better. And whatever. So I tried the nebulizer and it made me cough to the point where I could not have talk to people. I couldn't, I felt like I had to slow down. I had to stop because I couldn't do life and use this nebulizer, and it sort of dried the back of my throat. And I did it like 3 nights, and I did it for an hour, and I sort of felt like, what are people's experience, or does anyone have anything to say about this? I don't know, and in the newsletter I talk about it, and on Facebook, it's also come up the idea of needing to slow down the process in some way, because whatever, how do you do life if something is happening that you can't manage? So anyway, I just want to say that and ask that if anyone has any experience. And
Chokes you up, doesn't it? No, it's not.
What?
No, this whole conversation is a choker. It chokes you up. Well, we're going to hear from Matt here. I was doing nebulizers using essential oil diffusers and nebulizers to produce particulates in the air so that I could have a clean air in the room while I was sleeping at night. And then earlier this year, maybe it was last year, Matt and Harry introduced me to the mesh nebulizer system. So it breaks it up into vapor and gas particles, and you can get it higher up into the sinuses as well as, exfoliate your eyes and your skin. Matt, go ahead. Did you want to?
Oh, that sparked a thought. I put Fresh into a room diffuser, and it was even more uncomfortable than the mesh nebulizer. So even though it wasn't direct, my thought is the larger particle size equals a bit more uncomfortable experience.
I'm okay.
I wanted to introduce my use of the nebulizer as fever therapy because I wanted to impress upon people how intense this protocol is. And heck yeah, take it slow. I mean, the great news is it's effective. And basically I've been like, oh, let me soak a little more. Let me do a little more sauna work. Let me drink a little more to kind of like ease my overall toxic load before I go heavier into the nebulizer. Yeah, really works. And, of course, I smoke the cannabis as well. And I'm sure it's just kicking whatever's in there like crazy. Yep. Similar experience, McLean. Much love.
And what I noticed, T, did you have a question?
Yeah, can I ask that? Can I use urine to spray to my nose or smell the urine to heal my sinusitis?
Yeah, well, that's what we're using it for, so that it can rehydrate your sinuses and get up to the pineal gland through the blood-brain barrier right here.
Thank you.
And it's another form of using Shivambu, which is similar to, and this is something I want to talk today, is everybody who's trying drinking it through the nose, sniffing it through the nose, using a syringe up the nose so that you can get those nutrients up into your brain. That answer your question?
Oh, one more thing. When David was over, he had a bottle of aged in a nose spray bottle. And I got to use that a couple times. And probably with the same amount of detoxification reaction as if I was using my own. And yeah, you get this burning sensation and then it's better, and the mesh nebulizer is really good for inhaling into the lungs. And I'd go with the spray bottle for really getting it high up in the sinuses and all at once. Because if you do like a prolonged nose thing, it just keeps burning. Like I'd much rather do a spray and then than a neti pot, for example, of aged. Fresh is more gentle, definitely.
Well, I have to tell you, Matt, when I first started using the nebulizer, the mesh nebulizer, some of you guys might experience that when you first start bringing it and introducing it up your nose, is that it burns, or you have a gag response, or it feels like it hit something it wasn't supposed to hit, but you just keep at it. It may take several different attempts to get it comfortable, but eventually it becomes a commonplace to you.
Well, now I'm thinking maybe I have a mesh nebulizer. Maybe I should just try using it in my nose as opposed to breathing it through my, through my mouth.
Right. And these nebulizers, these come with a face mask. And they're designed for either an adult or a child. So you have two different face masks. It has a little rubber band strap, and you can put it around your face. And I thought,
how long do you, when you do a session with it, how long do you do it for?
It's all intuitive. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes until you feel like you're complete or you just had enough of it. But do you think it'd be fun to walk around in 2020? Go back a year. 2020, wearing a mask, snorting urine while everyone's wearing a different mask? All right, bada boom. That didn't go over very well.
No, I did that. It was great. It was great. It was doing something else on the subway through my mask.
I want to see that on video.
I think we have
2021.
I think we have some background noise coming from maybe Austin.
Let's meet Austin. Austin, can you put on your camera and unmute yourself so we can hear who you are and your journey? Thank you, Dave. Well, Austin might be one of those, he's a fly on the wall. He just wants to be with us.
All right, and I think he just muted himself and the sound stopped, so cool. All right.
Okay, did we hear from Indira? Did you tell us about your journey, what you're doing these days with urine therapy?
Oh, well.
VJ has to mute himself.
Hey, VJ, can you mute yourself?
Yes.
VJ, you have to mute.
I am here.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Indira.
Okay, my take these days is cause and effect. And I want to know the cause and effect behind Shivambu. Now, I think mind is the biggest player in cause and effect. Suppose like you are thinking a thought. Is it cause or is it effect? But when you say the thought is coming, you have to know what is mind. Well, mind is a wave and brain processes us and it comes as a thought. So you have to go to the origin of the thought. So there are 6 origins where the thoughts sprout, and I will get back into, because I don't have that much time, 3 minutes, I cannot explain. But I will share with you that when you go to the origin of your thought, one of them out of those 6 origins of thought, one is divinity. Through divinity, we are having that thought. So I want to connect Shivambu with the divine thought that comes to our mind and really processes it, that it can spread and go horizontal to millions and millions of people. So that's where I'm at.
Hey, Indira, can you just mention the other 5 origins of thought?
Well, one is need.
Okay.
If you are hungry, that is your need to eat. The thought comes, I'm hungry, I have to eat.
Okay, so we have divinity, need.
And another one is habit. Okay, you are eating at 12 o'clock, you are at office, 12 to 1 is the office time for lunch. So you are creating that habit to have hunger at 12 o'clock, so it is habit. The third way is environmental conditions. You are going through your Pearl Street, you are seeing this best restaurant that you love to go. So the thought force of people in that restaurant is always there, but you are get sucked into it. Oh, I have to go and have a lunch, in that restaurant because it's my favorite. So it is environmental conditions.
So that's 4.
Oh, okay. Third or fourth?
Well, so we have divinity, need, habit,
Yeah, 4.
conditions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but this is a sequence I'm giving. So
Yeah.
need, habit, environmental conditions. The fourth one in this line, actually it is 5th, but 4th one is superimposition of other beings, other salespeople, and gurus, and mother and father or son or everybody. They are superimposing every minute on us. So suppose, giving an example, I am a salesperson, I'm selling all these oranges, and I want to sell it. I want people to buy it. So my superimposition of getting more customers, more buyers, impacts people going around in the front of the oranges,
Yeah.
and then I buy it. Okay. But at home, my husband wants oranges. So his thought imposed on me to get oranges. But it is complex because the salesperson of the orange is also superimposing on me.
So it's need and superimposition at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And other people's thought force of me buying oranges is also, so it's very complex. So we have to find out who is doing that superimposition at that particular moment. So when we are saying we want to go from 30,000 people or 30 million to 300 million, bam, our thought force is superimposing with good-heartedness, with love, unconditional love, everything. So I'm processing these 6 things.
Wait, what's the 5th one?
Okay, 5th one I have to figure out yet. I have forgotten.
All right, so far we have divinity, need, habit, conditions, and superimposition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hereditary stuff. Okay.
Heredity. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Genetics.
So if my father or my grandfather or grandmother, they were thinking about getting this out of their problems and toxicity or this, they didn't have it. But their thought force has remained in me because I'm the outcome of my parents, grandparents, forefathers, everybody. So
Indira.
I'm doing it.
Indira.
Okay. I'm done.
So thank you very much. How can we translate that same teaching to spreading the message of Shivambu, either one-on-one or worldwide?
Mind is your best going horizontal with it. And this is what I've been doing. This is how I'm working on you. I'm working on everybody.
Well, we're doing mind marketing.
What?
We're doing mind marketing.
It's not marketing. Don't bring marketing. It is, you call it superimposition.
Okay, well, I didn't mean to impose.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can give it a nice word.
Yeah, we don't like marketing word. We're going to call it superimposition.
But
Can I say something real quick? I've got to go in a minute. I'm very sorry. Can I say something? I've put in the chat. There's a Telegram group. It's called No COVID Vaccines, but it's about 45,000 people who are really waking up. And I've done a couple of talks to 45,000 people about urine therapy. And a couple of days ago, I got Harry Matadine on, and I invited him to do a talk. He did a talk as well, and he's got loads of questions. So I've put the link in there. I recommend everyone, if you can you join this group? There's a lot of people asking questions. They're waking up to Big Pharma, the truth about what's going on. And a lot of them now are starting to ask questions about urine therapy. I've done a couple of talks, and Harry did a talk the other day all about aged urine. And everyone was thinking, wow, I didn't know that. And there were so many good questions. So I'd really recommend, if everyone can, please join this Telegram group.
Yeah.
And I must apologize, but I've got to go now. So it's really great to see everybody.
Yeah.
See you again. Thanks, Sage.
Before you go, can you email me the link?
I will. Can you see it in the chat as well?
Yes, it's
Great.
working, and that's great. I'm really glad you shared that, and it's really good to meet you, David.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again. I'll see you in the future.
All right, Dave.
Future fun. Thank you.
Blessings, blessings. And now that he's mentioned Telegram, if you'll notice there are like 3 urine therapy groups on Telegram. There's 3 on Instagram. They're starting to pop up in different places and from different countries. On Facebook, there's probably about 15 urine therapy groups. Some of them are Indonesian, some of them are Indian, some of them are Japanese, some of them are out of Australia and UK.
South America.
South America, yeah. The word is spreading, and so is the chatter on social media. T, what you're going to discover is that this group holds a special appreciation and endearment for you just because you're in this water family. And it's the kind of community where people can find safety and comfort, like Dominique, talking about things you can't talk to with your husband and your wife and your kids and your community. So I want you to feel comfortable not only talking with this group through the Zoom call, but if you'll join the Shivambu Hut or any of the social media groups, you'll be able to reach out and communicate with everybody.
Right on.
Right on, right on. The question for today is anybody practicing nose drinking, nose snorting, nose nebulizing, anything where you can get the nutrients up inside your brain, pineal gland, and hydrate your sinuses? Is anybody doing that right now?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I do that once, just every morning as part of my, what do they call it? Ablutions, and it's not, I'm not like, inundating myself, but just a pretty good snort up the nose, and can't really, attest to any specific results from that. I just, doing it because I believe that it's good, and it's definitely fresh urine.
Thank you. Stephanie, were you going to share something?
Yeah, sure. So I'm also like, my first pee, I drink half of it and then wash my face with the rest of it and also snort it on both sides. And for me, there are major differences on days I do it and on days that I don't, because on the days I don't do it, everything is kind of congested and mucousy. And on days that I do it, I mean, the breaths are so deep, just yeah, by simply doing it in the morning.
Thank you. Indira?
Okay, the idea just came that I'm going to do warm vapor. So I'm going to put some, maybe 3-4 days urine in a pot and warm it up at a very low heat, but the steam is coming, cover your head with the towel and, keep your eyes open, maybe mouth open, ears, nose, everything. And let us see what happens. That's my experiment I want to do myself, because warmth has something to do with the way it moves. It rejuvenates the cellular kind of structures. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Can I say something? What is the new rules, Tommy? Because you meet me for like 5-10
Sorry.
minutes. So what are the new rules? How long do you get muted?
Mute yourself or your
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, okay.
Well, the first time is muting.
Where is my mute?
For 3 days.
Sorry about that.
You don't know, I can mute you. Matt, did you want to add something?
I warm up my urine bath to just above body temperature roughly, and it just speeds up whatever it does cold. It just makes it, I assume it has something to do with the fact that our blood is at body temperature when
Exactly.
it's in our body.
Exactly.
I think it's that simple.
So how you warm it up in a pot and put it in the tub?
Good question. So this only works well if you have enough urine. So this is specifically for the urine bath. I have an immersion heater for like construction sites for tubs of water, which promotes circulation to the heat. So if you don't have a full enough tub and you put that in, it's going to maybe scorch the urine. It needs enough overhead urine on top of it for it really to get the loop of the circulating heat. Because it got really hot right next to the rod and not hot around it. So either keep stirring it or have it enough to where it can circulate properly. But it's just like an industrial immersion heater I got on Amazon. But you know, we really don't need something that powerful. We need to get it to like, you know, 100 at most, right? Fahrenheit.
Yeah, but you know, I think that you have to be very careful with putting that electricity in the water. Very, very, because I have seen in India, people heat up their bath water, you know, like bucket bath. They put that rod in it, and one guy got electrified, you know, he died.
Yeah, okay, thanks for saying that. You know, I got a really nice industrial immersion heater, but what if it corrodes and some of with the urine being a more corrosive element than possibly pure water? I'm not sure about that. I see more buildup than, anyway, it's a really nice metal thing, you know, it's,
yeah,
but there's no like.
Do you take the rod out before you enter? The reason I ask is because the people who've done those detox foot soaks where they leave the rod in and, you know, an orange and rust colored stuff comes out of the feet. Have anybody seen that before?
I have.
I always felt very uncomfortable because I could feel electricity coming through the water into my feet. And I stopped doing that.
I'm going to from now on.
Yeah.
I take the psychic potency of this group seriously. So basically, I can't.
I mean, when I'm sharing that with you, I'm getting like a chill in my back.
There we go. All right, I'm gonna heat it up.
Outside.
I'll have a wooden spoon to stir it, and then I'll get in, and I'll be able to be taking my sauna as it heats up. So that's all good. But you know, don't shrink. If anybody's gonna copy me, you know, quality is important on all this. You want a tub that isn't gonna break, you know, and frickin' put urine all over your room. You know, the heater, I'm sure I'm not dead yet because, you know, it's quality. Yeah, anyhow, thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question for Dominique. I see the periodic chart on your wall. I'm wondering if you're like a scientist or anything like that?
Nope, that's my son's.
That's your son's. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Does it show plasma?
Plasma.
Plasma is the fifth state of matter. It may not be on an elemental chart, but we had this talk in class the other day. Dominique was in the class, and we were pointing out that why blood plasma is related to life-giving plasma that the first responders give to patients on their way to the hospital. Why is that connected to the fifth state of matter? And why is that connected to achieving fifth dimensional consciousness? So we had fun with that in class yesterday.
I got a quick anecdote. There was a doctor in Paris in the 1800s who, this is in one of Dr. Tom Cowan's books on water, cancer and the new biology of water. This doctor in Paris he drained a dog entirely of its blood and replaced it entirely with highly structured mineralized seawater from a special vortexing part of some European sea. And the dog was running around just fine. Entirely replaced blood with this, what's basically urine, you know.
Thank you.
Matt, sorry. I've got a quick question for Matt. Can I ask? Yeah, hi. So when you have the bathtub in your room, like my first question is, how do you do it with the smell of the aged urine you're using? And also, do you use it again and again, the urine? And like, when do you dispose, or how do you dispose it? Or do you drink it then, or
Yeah, definitely encourage you to check out my YouTube to see how this works. But I put it through cheesecloth. And then, so I have a little table next to the tub. Then I take the aquatainer jugs that you saw. I fill those up. I then put the aquatainer jugs on top of the table with the spout over and the tub. Then I have a large funnel that is hooked onto the table, which is the aquatainer jug is on. It's really quite simple when you get a look. And I put the cheesecloth in there, and then I run it through the cheesecloth and just back into the tub. I then take the cheesecloth, which is full of some sediment, but it's mostly catching this thin mucus that forms throughout the whole tub and is sequestering the toxins. So as we saw in an earlier call, Darlene's amazing under the microscope, the white blood cells capture the toxins and turn into that sediment and also mucus, to put it simply. And so I'm capturing a lot of thin mucus in the cheesecloth. I then take the cheesecloth with all that in it and I wring it out into another container. I save that, but save it for like alchemical purposes. It's just going to be like a jar of the hell that I've extracted from myself. Then I rinse out the cheesecloth with tap water so I can use it again effectively, because there's still a lot of sediment trapped in the cheesecloth. I then get a liquid that's really returned to totally water, really not as thick as it was, because so let's say I take a long bath. I think this is going to be my routine. I take a long bath one day, then I take a day off. Then the next morning after that, the tub is filled with mucus. If I wait 48 hours, it really does form this mucus. If I wait 24 hours, not nearly as much. And then I put it through the cycle. And so I'm never discarding a lot. I am a little bit by absorbing it through my skin. The stuff I wring out in the cheesecloth, that's some liquid for sure. But I just keep adding to it, and it's filling up quite fast. Somebody to check out if one is really interested in accomplishing a similar project is the person I was inspired by, Monica Shute. She has a beautiful way of warming the tub safely by having another tub on the outside filled with regular water that she heats that, and then it heats the tub in the middle by induction. I don't have room for that. That's the only reason why I'm not doing that.
She has a tub inside another container.
Yep. Also, she doesn't bother filtering it as much as I do because she's got more guts and more glory. It's not necessary to do as much filtration as I do.
But Matt, I think you've said before that the filtration eliminates some of the smell. Is that true?
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of it. It was so obvious I forgot to mention. Yes. So the ammonia is the worst part of the smell. And a couple thoughts about ammonia and aging urine. It's a phase. So if you just don't mess with it, the ammonia smell goes away.
Dr. Hansen says it outgasses. She says in time it outgasses. It's the same when you lay out fresh carpet and other things that have gas leaking out of it.
Yep. To wrap up real quick, when I filter it out and I restart, the ammonia smell really increases because I think it's really able to clean itself profoundly if you put it through the cheesecloth, because I've cleared out the toxins that are bound up in the mucus, the positively charged toxins. So the entire tub has a greater negative charge than if I put it through the cheesecloth, eliminating the positively charged toxins. And that negative charge then is able to pull out the positively charged toxins through my skin. So I'm then able to dump more in because I filtered it. And also the tub is not dealing with a large toxic load anymore, so it's able to more efficiently detox, just like a human being. It's got its own immune system.
What about things? Do you clean your body before you get in there? Because if you've got stuff, grime on your feet, or sweat, or particles that have jumped on your arms or whatever that would come into the bath water, do you clean first or just jump in?
I take the sauna first, and I feel like that's a profound cleaning. And then I'm fine with sweating into the tub because the tub sequesters the toxins and the mucus, and then I filter that out. If I sweat the top layer of crap that is, just wanting to come out through my lymph system and my skin out, I feel like that is better than taking a shower, honestly, for like kind of having this kind of respect for the tub. Also, I want to minimize the amount of tap water in my life, and I feel like even washing the cheesecloth with the tap water is a little bit of a sin.
All right, Stephanie, did that answer your question?
Yeah, it was a lot, so I hope it did.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Good class.
Oh, also the tent helps with the smell, you know?
That's amazing.
So it doesn't leak out into your room, the smell.
Well, it does, but only when I open the door. And then also I have a negative ion generator in there. And those negative ions just so happen to love to bind to ammonia specifically. So lucky.
All right, very nice.
You can write a book.
I should. Thank you.
You got enough material. Now, on a smaller scale, let me ask you, and then I'll go into a little more detail. How many of you are doing urine foot soaks? All right, are you using a Tupperware tub or something like a soft plastic tub where both the feet will fit in there?
I use a glass baking dish.
Okay, but both your feet can fit in there, or do you do
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Yeah, like a rectangular baking dish that's about 3 inches high, and just yeah.
I do that too, and I use 2 of them.
Oh, one for each foot?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the whole idea around the foot soak thing is because the widest pores in the body are in the soles of the feet. As a reflexologist, I was trained in knowing all these points in the feet. And so when people do, and you've heard of people putting essential oil, the first place they put it is on the feet because it's the widest skin surfaces, so it's going to have the best way to transport the nutrients into the bloodstream. So what you do in these foot soaks is soak in the water. Now you can use 2 quarts or a gallon. It depends on what you have, but try to get at least enough fluid up to your ankles so you can get all the reflexology points that either correspond to the pelvis, the lower spine, all the rest of the organs through the feet, and let yourself indulge for 30 minutes or longer. So bring yourself some music, something to read, whatever you do to entertain your mind for 30 minutes. And when you're done, strain out the urine and store it for the next use. Indira.
I have an idea. Like, we need vitamin D. So when the sun comes out, you sit in the sun, put your feet in the urine, and use that 30 minutes or 20 minutes. So you combine many, many things. Be creative. How many you can do? Like, our Stephanie is saying that she drinks and then she puts it on your face and the eyes, hair, ears, everything. So the time consumption can be reduced when you are overlapping many, many things. And it works like a, the senses are telling us, because when we are involving all our 5 senses, the 6th sense is easily developed. So we are much more of a superhuman being, developing the 6th sense by combining 5 senses. And then it is directly connected to all our 12 cranial nerves. So it is also feeding the cranial nerves back into the system, So, my assessment is that knowing the interconnectedness with our body, the astral body, the causal body, knowing the Brahman, it all is only working for us, like as humans. And this is what mind processes it and reaches the ultimate. Thank you.
Thank you. One more thing about the foot soak and it's written up here in the latest urine therapy book of mine, came out last year, is the Manual for Urotherapy Teachers and Therapists. Now, in there, when people go to the general treatment section of the book, it talks about all the different health challenges, diseases, and most of them are treated not only orally but also with foot soaks. If someone comes up to you and say, "I'm wiped out, I'm exhausted, I can't get my energy going, I'm stressed out, I'm nervous, blah, blah, blah," well, look at the ingredients list and you'll discover that urine has magnesium, B vitamins, oxytocin, DHEA, melatonin, serotonin, all kinds of nutrients that people have to buy supplements for, used to buy supplements for, to get calm, centered, and present again. Well, when you're soaking your feet in that, you're getting all those vital nutrients into your body.
I'd like to be a little vulnerable here because I really believe in the oxytocin in the urine. It's absolutely made all the difference with the porn addiction I've had for, probably almost a decade at this point. So I'm nearly over it, and that's huge.
What's the last nearly? What's the holdback?
Oh no, dude, it's just like, it's getting over a big problem. Like, no, but okay, yeah, at this point, like literally I just needed that last push. We're good. Like, no.
Okay, everybody push Matt.
all right, fine. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on it. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you for the inspiration with the feet soaking, brother, and then the cranial nerves. I've been taking a copper vessel and scooping it up and pouring it on top of my head, and yeah.
The cool water.
Sorry?
Cool water. Not ice water, but cool, very cold.
Cool.
Oh, you know about that, if you don't heat up the Urine tub, it actually has a lower resting temperature than normal water. And I assume that's because of the structured water. There's a book called The Fourth Phase of Water that talks about this. In general, structured water has a lower temperature point.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, you can use it as a cold soak, like a ice bath without the ice.
Yes.
Is that the same reason why people go hot to cold and they do a different temperature? They jump into cold water and hot water and back and forth so they can open close pores.
But they jump into ice water, like a big jacuzzi with ice water. And I have done that. And my gosh, it gives expansion and contraction. Expansion, I mean, your whole body is vibrating. That's the experience.
So I heat up with the sauna and then I jump in the relatively extremely cold Urine tub. That's great.
Yeah.
Stick my head in there. That's tough. So it's for me, it's still just pouring over at this point.
I know.
Thanks for your inspiration.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I need to leave the call. So thank you.
Group hug for Christopher. Thank you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
We'll get caught up. For those that didn't know that, the Shivambu organization, the board of directors, are the Guptas, McLean, Christopher, myself, and Doc Mike Whittord out in Chicago. So we're the guys that are running this nonprofit. And love to hear from each and every one of you. If you're not already a member of the Shivambu Hut, Dominique joined today. And you will meet, we're now up to 291 members. So you get to meet active water family and brother who want to read content that we're posting, share content, or a lot of them are answering each other's difficult to answer questions. So we're all giving each other support and counsel on that group. So if you haven't already, go to shivambu.org and you can get the free membership link to the hut. Anything else you guys want to bring up as we come to a close today? Hi, Indira. Go ahead.
What about Metadine? What happened to him today?
He's a no-show. Maybe he's hanging with his girlfriend. I don't know.
Oh, they broke up, brother.
The first time or second time?
First time.
All right, because last time I communicated, he sounded trying to get mended up, and he was keep the heart of the matter going. But who knows? I'm not up to date with people's relationships. Except
it impacts the urine. It does impact the urine, though.
If they would only practice it on each other, give each other urine massages, that will bond them. I'm not going to go into golden showers, okay, guys? We're just going to talk about the other thing. So as we go out to the streets in a couple of weeks, we're going to be asking people questions, and I'm fearless about this. I feel bulletproof. I talked to Doc Mike last night. He says, brother, you're bulletproof. You can take all kinds of crap from people and still stand strong about urine therapy. I said, yeah, because I know what we have. They don't. And so get this, guys. When people come up to you and say, but urine, it's a waste product. It's disgusting. Everybody knows that. First thing out of your mouth should be, where did you get that idea from? And you'll discover nobody has a strong argument about the opposite side of urine therapy because they bought a myth and a theory by the medical community without questioning it. And so what we're doing is we're whistleblowers. We're telling people urine therapy has always been with you your whole life, even in the womb, and it's time for you to remember and wake up and start using your own precious water again. Yay! So you guys will be out on the street with me in spirit, and if we do a live stream, we'll love to be able to have you guys jump on and say something to the public. Any last few remarks? Anybody want to throw a couple remarks out there before we come to a close?
I like your phrase. I don't know about that if they ask about a particular condition, but when I drink my pee, it feels better.
You want me to put that in context? Do you want me to put that in context?
Please, yeah.
All right, Stephanie, Ty, Thee, everybody. When someone comes up to you and says, is urine therapy good for headaches, colds, inflammation, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, AIDS, COVID, whatever. Don't set yourself up like you're a doctor, so that will never come up in conversation. Simply say this, I don't know about that. All I know is when I drink my pee, I feel better. And let them figure out what the heck you're talking about.
Or they can read the what are these called? The testimonials.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to have testimonials. We're going to have links, whatever we can. I spoke with VJ this morning. He gave me an honorary PhD, no pun intended, a PhD. I'm a doctorate in urine therapy through the Colorado University. And so I'm working with him to write me a document, some kind of official declaration, hopefully with the stationary letterhead from CU. And Christopher is going to put together something that shows I'm on the board of directors and the founder of the organization. So we have that laminated and on the table if anybody wants credentials. Go ahead.
I'm proposing that Brother Sage should be founder father.
Papa.
You know, I mean, look at this. The Washington, there are founding fathers, US has. Well, you are one of the founding fathers of Shivambu.
Yes, my child, I am. And I hold that precious to me, so I don't take that lightly.
Okay. Thank you.
So guys, we're going to do this in another 2 weeks. What is today, the 11th? I guess we're going to do this on the 25th.
Awesome. Thank you, McLean and Christopher, even though he's not here, so much for your work on the newsletter and for making it testimonial focused. Because what I'd like to do is say, I don't know, it makes me feel better. And here's the testimonials of my good friends who made a wonderful, beautiful thing. I just want to tell everybody that, and that's all I have to do. So thank you.
Yes, and one of the things we learned in nutrition, in the nutritional sales business years ago, was third-party testimonials get you off the hook. Well, I don't know about that, but my friend Matt, he was dealing with this, and Christopher had eczema, and you should try it.
Well, I don't know about that, but my friend brother.
He was dealing with an enlarged prostate, and he put it, and he got it cleared, yeah. There, I told my story real quick.
Oh, then, wait. There's something going on here.
Is VJ's microphone on?
It's that echo in your room.
Okay, I will shut this off.
Have VJ mute his microphone.
No.
By the way, their house is a beautiful house with a view of the canyons and the hills above Boulder. Lovely place.
Anyone wants to come, they can come.
I'm saving up.
What?
Well, I'm saving up for the Biohacker Conference next May. And then after that, but basically, yeah, I just have this trip. Yeah, anyway.
Okay, Indira, last few words. We're going to wrap it up.
I forgot what I wanted to tell.
Okay, drink some pee. It'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you for being part of this journey, this water family. You are superstars in this world. I don't know what the rest of the world is doing, but I put a lot of attention on this water family. So you guys can be healthy and you can share and we can grow this as a movement. So whatever you feel will be beneficial to get us to that 300 million practitioner mark that Christopher set out for us, get back in touch with me or any of the board of directors and we'll add it to what we're doing. So namaste, blessings, my friends.
Namaste. Bye.
When this is all done, I'll give my best to get this published and send you guys the link of this call. Thank you all for coming by today.
Okay.